Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. This is a video no one asked for, no one wanted. The lowest viable teams on the Imperial probe droid Dark Side Hoth Territory Battles Special Mission. Really, this video serves as a PSA for players who are interested in starting a new account, who know players in earlier guilds, or know people who are interested in trying out the game, because with the new troopers, this event is basically trivialized. It is so much easier to beat now. You can do it with lower stars, lower levels, lower abilities, lower gear, and that's really all made possible because of the newer troopers in Piett and Range Trooper. And this is something that's important to know because you have a very short window in order to go after those Imperial probe droid shards. If you don't maximize getting as many of those shards as early as possible, it becomes pretty difficult to farm those shards later. Really, they're the hardest shards to farm in the game because guilds are going to mature out of Darkside Hoth pretty quickly. As soon as you move on to those Watt shards, you're basically limited to using a high value currency to purchase probe droid shards, or you're having to wait for a very rare event in the galactic bounties to go after those shards. And really, you should be prioritizing the Wampa shards first before probe droid. So this is a video that, if it does apply to you, to be sharing with your guild and your guild mates, because they need to be helping you out to get as many of these shards as possible. The other good news though is mods are actually not that important in this video. I don't have them optimized. I could have done a lot better. And all that really matters is making sure your Piett is really good. He's going to do all the rest of the work. Before you even attempt this special mission, you're going to want to wait until your guild fills out at least 2 of the 6 ship platoons. Not every guild can fill out all 6, but 2 of them at a minimum will unlock the event ability Orbital Bombardment that is going to make this event much easier. Once you have that accomplished, you can take in these troopers. These were the troopers that I did it with. You can probably do Moff Gideon, but Moff Gideon was not farmed to a point in my new account where he was relevant at the time. I could do it now, but my guild has since moved on to Dark Side Geos to go after those Watt shards, which again just emphasizes my point that your window to go after probe droid shards is short. And right now we're lucky that probe droid is not a prerequisite for anything, but that may not always be true, so you need to take advantage while you can. We were able to beat this special mission with only Piett above level 80, Stormtrooper at it, and then Veers, Starck, and Range all below. Stormtrooper the only one at 7 stars, the rest at 6. I didn't have any of these abilities maxed. The ones that matter on General Veers are the first special, Ruthless Assault. This one I had at level 5. It's a mass assist that puts down ability block. The added damage would be helpful. The added ability block chance would be helpful, but what really matters here is just the assisting at all. The leadership is another key ability here. I had it at level 7. You gain 20 speed at level 7. If you took him to level 80, this is an Omega. This is also very good. You get 10% turn meter whenever they gain a buff. But with Piett, it's not necessary. That is how much work Piett does for this event now. Aggressive Tactician. This is the Zeta. It's a great ability. Also not necessary. But the 40% chance to gain 50% turn meter, that's what you want. So take that up as high as you can. The Zeta is not required. Stormtrooper I had at level 80, gear 10. Maxed basic and special because he was part of my arena team. Wall of Stormtroopers is a bad Zeta. You can just take it up to level 7. You can see the mods are only at level 12 because it gets really expensive to take mods from 12 to 15. I was trying to save every credit I could on this account. Now with Stormtrooper, his job is to be a tank. He is a very underrated tank. he can take a ton of damage. And that's important because his job in this mission is to take the ability Imperial Ambition from Piett. What Imperial Ambition does is it puts this stack of inevitable failure onto Stormtrooper. When you get 20 stacks of inevitable failure onto Stormtrooper and then Stormtrooper dies, then Piett gains all of these stats. Piett will gain 100% max health, max protection, 300% offense, and 25% speed. That makes Piett super powerful, and that's how he gets the bulk of the work done in this event. Now with Piett, I had him at level 84 because at level 84, that is the minimum in order to put on the Zeta for his unique Emperor's Trap. Emperor's Trap is an extremely good Zeta. It was the second Zeta I put on this account. And what this Zeta does is for whenever an Empire ally attacks out of turn, the allies are gaining stacks of Emperor's Trap, and what Emperor's Trap does is give offense and potency per stack. So with all the assists that can come out of this squad, they're able to do way more offense than what their gear levels normally would be able to do, which allows them to power through all of the rebel opponents in this mission. From there, his basic is important. He's going to do a bunch of damage, but also with his Omega, he is going to call allies who have inevitable failure to assist. So that is going to be Stormtrooper to start, but later on, usually in wave 2 or the end of wave 1, you can mark someone else with inevitable failure and they will assist. Suborbital Strike. This is a Zeta for later in the game, but what really matters with this is it's going to dispel buffs, and that's going to help you get around the taunting tanks that the Hoth soldiers have. And Piett's leadership is irrelevant for this match. I had him at gear 8. Speed is important on Piett. We'll go through mods later in the video, but he is the one you need fast. You would like to have all of the characters fast, but as you're going to see in my video footage, it's not required. I do not have them optimized. Ranged Trooper. What really matters here is his ability Steady, because with Steady you are going to give protection up. I had it at level 7, so I don't have the Omega, but you get a bunch of protection, and then random allies are going to assist. And remember, with every assist, you are gaining stacks of Emperor's Trap, which is increasing the damage output. Power in numbers, I had at level 6. This is less important because the tenacity isn't as important, but you should still bring it up a little bit. The levels aren't important. The ability, the unique, is still important because this unique is what creates a chance for Imperial Trooper allies to be constantly assisting. All the basics help, but I didn't bring up a lot of them past level 6 because you can see at a cost of 9 purple ability mats, that's pretty expensive. And during the filming of this video, which was several months ago, that was not something I could afford to put down. Colonel Starck I had at gear level 9, level 75, no maxed out abilities. He used to be very important in the old method of beating the special mission based on how he synergized with General Veers' leadership, but that is not as important with the Piett method of beating this event. With Piett, you don't need these abilities maxed out, and he can kind of die off. The way that he worked with Veers is his ability Scan All Wavelengths would give a buff, which would give turn meter based on Veers' leadership Omega, which I didn't even have applied, so it doesn't even occur in this playthrough. It does help though. Then his second special, Blizzard for Barrage, this at level 80 would put stagger onto all enemies, but again, I kept those resources. I didn't go up to level 80, so this one no longer applies. What does help though is the unique gives armor penetration, but the abilities are less important here because you don't need this heal from Starck with Piett and Range Trooper. Here's the basic stat overview, but this is not a recommendation. This is a floor. This is just whatever mods I happen to have on these characters. We'll go through the mod sets in a moment, but look at these not as a goal, but as something to surpass and to illustrate how bad your mods can be with Piett being able to carry this event. Piett needs to be fast. It helps if Veers and Range are also fast, or at least have speeds close to each other so that their Emperor's Trap stacks don't get interrupted by an opponent turn. We are going to click through these mods quickly, so pause on them if you want to look at them in detail to see what I used. They synergized, but very rarely did they have level 15 mods. Only Piett had a speed arrow. We put a bunch of protection on a lot of these other characters because I just wanted them as tanky and as survivable as possible at lower gear. I'm going to narrate a play-by-play as we go. The key first move is from Piett. He needs to mark Stormtrooper because Stormtrooper is super tanky. The mark is going to make all of the rebels focus in on Stormtrooper instead of targeting anyone else and get those stacks of inevitable failure. Starck throws up the buffs, but I don't have the Omega on Veers, so we don't get any turn meter. But as soon as I go, after the rebels go, we get Range Trooper to mass assist and then Veers to mass assist, and because their speeds are close, they go right after each other, and they're just able to shoot through Commander right away, even though he's an elite, because those stacks of Emperor's Trap boosted the damage. Now we get a bunch of assists. We're focusing on Soldier because we can't go after a Scout right now, and because that Soldier wasn't an elite. We dispel with the second special from Piett. Use the event ability, the AT1, to take out that Soldier. Since Scout is not under stealth, we're going for Scout because we don't care about tanks. The tanks, they're a nuisance, but they're not a danger. Scouts can stun. We want to focus any damage onto Stormtrooper that we can, and we're just working through the Soldier right now. We mark Stormtrooper again because it puts Piett under stealth and focuses the damage there. Now we have a super powered Piett. Watch the damage difference. So we take out the Soldier right away. Now we're using basics. We want to give the event abilities a chance to stack up and to make sure all of our abilities are on cooldown. And we enter wave 2 with a super powered Piett. It's good that Stormtrooper died off. Everyone else is still alive. First target here is Captain Han. So we click on him. We got lucky with the turn meter, so we're able to throw a mass assist right away. That assist there was from Range Trooper's unique. Now I want to take Commander Luke, because you can see how much damage Commander Luke does. He's the damage dealer. I choose Starck because Starck's not really contributing to this battle, so I mark him. I'd rather not lose someone else. I go with the bombardment because I want the ability block. I only get one. I probably should use the AT&AT ability, but Piett's turn, so I use the basic. Here I definitely should use it, but I think in the moment I don't realize that that ability is unavoidable. It goes through the foresight, which is not listed in the description. Now we use the AT&AT ability, take out Soldier, or take out CLS, and we focus down on Rolo. From here is just taking some turns. We throw the mark on range to make sure that Piett can't be targeted. And we just power through. We could have even lost range trooper. Thank you for watching. I'm going to put a card right here that is to a list video about guaranteed future prerequisite characters, Probe Droid being the notable one. So if you're in an early guild who is not optimizing those shards, make sure your guild mates know how easy it is to now get those Probe Droid shards so that you can make sure you have Probe Droid farmed before he is inevitably required for something. Thank you for watching. Be safe out there, everyone, and be excellent to each other. This is Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes.